Hello everyone, and welcome back to Turtlecraft. This is episode 44 with me, LimBryn, and today I'm running out of places to do that intro in Turtle Keep because we're starting in Turtle Keep, and it looks a little bit different from the last time you guys saw it because the ground is now fully podzol, which makes me very happy. It also looks really weird because it kind of just stops once it gets to the outline of the wall, which of course is the next project we're going to do here because I have half a wall and it looks really nice, but the other half of the wall is a stone outline and it does not look very nice. And yeah, I want to complete this today because the reason I only did half of it originally is I didn't have the resources. But in the last episode, we constructed a moss farm over there in Turtleshire? I was about to say Turtleshire, that's not its name. Shareshire. And now that we have that, we have a pretty much unlimited supply of moss to build all the wall that I could possibly want to. So let's hop into a time lapse and finish up the wall of Turtle Keep. Turtle Keep is once again safe and sound, surrounded by a wall, and I have to say I'm super glad about that because I got blown up by creepers 3 separate times while constructing this wall. You may have been able to see in the time lapse, but maybe not. So I'm glad to have this back so that I will not get blown up by creepers, and also, attacked by zombies and the like. But this wall does have a little problem, which is it's a little too secure, maybe, because currently there's not actually a super great way in and out of Turtle Keep. I mean, if I go over here, you can probably manage to parkour up this hill to get in, but let's be honest, that's not really a great way to get into a town. So, next project for Turtle Keep today is we are going to build a gate in this part of the wall, as well as a path so that merchants and traders and people can come into the wall without having to parkour up a hill, which is not very practical. It's not the grandest gate, but it will certainly do for Turtle Keep. I've kind of just removed this section of the wall and added some decoration to make it look not ugly, but I haven't added the other thing that I mentioned, which is, of course, a little path leading up to Turtle Keep. That is because my paths tend to be too wide, like this one over here, which isn't a very good example because it's diagonal. You can kind of see it over there, maybe. And this is 4 wide, which my brain doesn't like, apparently, because I tried thinking of how I would do the path. I feel like just kind of centering it would not look good. So I'm procrastinating doing that by recording this clip. But now I'm gonna do that, and while I'm at it, I think I'm actually gonna do a path layout for most of Turtle Keep, because that's kind of the first step to planning the town structure and other buildings that I want to put in, because now that we've expanded the wall, there's a lot more space back here that used to just be outside the town limits now could have like a weavery. What is it called? A tailor's shop, I suppose. A thing that takes wool and turns it into clothes. Because like there's sheep here, so I feel like that would make sense. There's a lot of different things I want to do, but they all need paths connecting them. So let's go ahead and put some paths all around Turtle Keep. So I've been working at this for a while, and I'm actually in a little bit of a mental like rut, I guess. I did this little area over here. We have the path going to the back door of the church, path going over to whatever is going to be in this area, and of course I have the path that will go out to the outside world. And I also did some paths in this area, just generally going back there. But I'm kind of stuck now. I've gotten past the weird murder cave that's supposed to be a butcher's area, and I made this nice little bridge. I really like how it turned out, and I have no clue what to do with this area. I know I said in the past that I want to kind of do a fisher's hut in that area and like a blacksmith over here, but that's not a very good plan. I do still like the fisherman's hut here, but I don't know what to do with the rest of this area. So I think while I think about that, let's go ahead and build up some of the fisherman's hut that's gonna go right next to the little lake. And it's done. I didn't do any progress reports for this one because I didn't really feel like it, but I absolutely love how it turned out. I built, the fisherman's hut and also two little docks. I built this one, which I tried to mimic the style of the dock on the other side of the lake, but it just doesn't look as good as that one. I don't really know why. I think it's because that one's diagonal. But anyway, we're going to keep it for now because I think it looks good enough. And then, of course, I built the much more important dock, which is this one. It's so tiny, but I love it. This was the first thing I built in this project, and I just, like, have decided to keep it, apparently. And then, of course, there's the house itself, which is really small and also super dilapidated. I've decided it's one of, like, the older buildings in Turtle Keep because fishing is a pretty profitable trade, so it's just kind of, like, run down because it's been here so long. And then there's a little fishing workstation out here where you have like a bucket of salmon and a bucket of cod. And I have to say, I absolutely love these raw ore blocks because they just look like so many different things. Like I used the this one to be like bread rolls in the baker's hut, and this one just like kind of looks like a bucket of salmon, but it doesn't look like exactly like a bucket of salmon. But we used to like not have anything that looked like a bucket of salmon. Anyway, I love these so much. So you could just like chop up a fish here, throw it in the bucket of cod, and then inside, like I said, super small. You have just a bed, some storage, and of course a potted plant, which is pretty much a requirement at this point. I mean, like, they're just really great. And also, interesting tidbit, this is the tallest ceilings out of any building in Turtle Keep, except for, like, the church, maybe, which I find kind of funny. But that's just because it's, like, built on a little bit of a slope, so I had to make the ceiling a little bit taller. But overall, I think this build turned out super great, and now I have a little bit of a better idea as to where to put the paths, but I don't really want to do that yet. So we're going to do a different project before we get back to the paths, which is, of course, fish, because I said that it was probably a pretty great place to fish, and that's why this building is so old. But there's literally not a single fish. I'm, like, almost surprised none have naturally spawned here, but either way, there's no fish. I guess, no, sea turtles are not fish. Wait, are they fish? No, they're reptiles, right? Yeah. No, they're reptiles. Either way, you don't want to fish the turtles. So we're gonna go, like, over to an ocean and get a bunch of fish, and then we can kind of just, like, fill the lake and the spring up with a ridiculous amount of cod and salmon. I'm not sure it's a ridiculous amount, but it certainly is 2 shulker boxes full. I have a shulker box of cod and a shulker box of salmon, so I guess let's, take some of each and go put them in the lake. Now, I don't want to, like, overfill it to the point that it looks kind of weird, but I do want a decent amount of fish. I'm going to start with the natural spring, so we're just going to put, like, I don't know, 4 cod in. Is that too little? I might put more, but we're going to start with 4 there, and also some salmon. The salmon have been deployed. Also, I decided to put some seagrass around, and I think it looks really good. The pond kind of just, like, looks more alive now, because this one was, like, it looked dead to me, I guess, right? Because there was just, like, no livelihood in it, but now we have lots of fish kind of going around. We have, like, a little pod of cod and some salmon attempting to get up to the source of the spring, which doesn't go anywhere. Maybe I'll make that more realistic at some point, but Probably not. Anyway, I think that looks really good, and I'm now actually happy with how this pond looks, and I think now that this is done, we can actually go put some fish in the lake, and I want to have, like, less density of fish in the lake, because it's a lot bigger, and also this is supposed to be, like, the, private breeding stock of fish for the fisherman, so he's been, like, working on this for several generations or something, and very good fish or something like that. So there's more of them than there will be just like naturally in the lake, but let's go get at least like 10 of each and put them in. Well, I ended up putting in a little bit more than 10. I actually emptied out all of the shulker boxes, but truthfully, it does not look overpacked at all. I mean, there's kind of a lot, but like this entire area is empty. I feel like I could put more fish in here. I'm not going to, because I don't want to go too crazy with the fish, but I think it looks super good. It like brings a lot of life to the build, although I kind of feel like I want tropical fish now. Doesn't it just like seem like the kind of lake that would have tropical fish in it? You have like this magic like ancient artifact in the middle of it. You have like turtles and seagrass everywhere. I just feel like it needs tropical fish, so I'm gonna go over to the ocean and get some. I'm not really sure what I want to do. Do I want like one pod? But I'm just gonna go gather a bunch of tropical fish, and I can figure out the details later. I still haven't figured out the details, but I did get a lot of fish. I filled my 2 shulker boxes with tropical fish again. I also got 2 puffer fish, because I think that would just kind of make a nice addition, although I was a little worried they might hit turtles, but I'm pretty sure they don't hit other, like, aquatic things other than drowned, maybe, because, drowned are hostile. But other than those guys, I got a ton of different types. You have, like, clownfish, queen angelfish, marsh idols, cotton candy betta, red-lipped blenny, and the red-lipped blenny is very cool, because it's my colors. Look, it's red and black, which is, like, a very common color combination. But still, I like it, so, yeah, I have a, no, there we go. It's fine. So yeah, a lot of different fish. Like I said, I still haven't figured out the details of which ones I'm actually going to put in, but I'm just going to kind of go for it and see what looks good. I think I want to put the red-lipped blennies in the little spring back here because I think they look the best out of the lot. So yeah, let's put some fish in. And by some fish, I meant literally all of the fish. Now, I said I want to do it looks good, and truthfully, I think this looks good. There's just, like, tons of different types of fish in here, and realistically, it wouldn't be this packed. You also have, like, Tortuga getting stuck under the dock. He does that a lot. But anyway, yeah, a lot of fish. I just put all of them in, and I think it looks really good because the conduit is supposed to be kind of, like, providing for all of the living creatures in the pond. So I've kind of just gone with it being a little more packed than it would normally be. There's also puffer fish. They in fact do not hit turtles. I tested it at the possible detriment of my turtles, so I'm glad they don't. But yeah, we have 2 puffer fish in here, and then just a ton of different types of fish. I'm gonna get hit by these guys so many times, just like swimming around in here. But I think it looks super great, and it doesn't look overpacked in my opinion, unless you go like up here and turn on hitboxes. And then it looks like there's a really quite large amount of fish. But I don't really do that super often, so it looks good. But now that we have all these fish in, like I said earlier, I want to finish up the paths for this area, so let's go ahead and do that. So I completed all of the paths, and I don't know why this gave me so much trouble earlier. It took me like 5 minutes, but pretty much I just have this path that goes along the shoreline, and I added another bridge up here for this little lake, and of course they are connected now under the bridge, so the fish could go in here, supposedly. I haven't seen any go in there yet, but it's possible. And then the path just kind of ends after this bridge, because I want this entire area to be a tavern, which is kind of a bigger build, so, and it also might be a build that has like paths going throughout it, because it might not all just be one building, so I haven't like put paths in this area yet. But apart from this area, which isn't quite done yet, all of it looks quite good. I also added some trees back because I feel like they're kind of an essential part of Turtle Keep. It's supposed to be kind of like super lush and green, I guess because of like the conduit in the middle is kind of like making everything super vibrant and stuff, which is why there's like leaves everywhere and everything is kind of like covered in moss and stuff. So I added some of the trees back on this side because I think They're really like required pretty much for Turtle Keep to like be how it should. And of course, I've left gaps in them for a hut here and some stuff over there, just because I don't really know what to do with that area yet. But now that I have all the paths done, I think there's still some video time left, so let's go ahead and put in another hut here, and I'm thinking I'm going to do a blacksmith. I am on a roll today because I am once again super happy with this build. I kind of did the same thing that I do with the fisherman's hut, which is that it's super ruined, and I also apparently didn't like fully finish it because I would have put leaves here if I had, but it's good enough apparently because I'm starting this clip now. But anyway, I think it turned out super great. Like I said, you know, you have like the hut over here with a pretty simple interior of a lighter green bed, because I'm thinking the blacksmith is actually quite cleanly, which is why there's also a little like wash basin in the corner. And that's actually all the decoration. I think I was going to add like some barrels or something, but I kind of just never got around to it. So there we go. Yeah, not doing a potted plant. I know, it's pretty much heresy, but I've decided I've done it a little bit too much. And then of course there's the outside area, which is a very simple little blacksmith work area. You have like a forge and an anvil and the little bucket that they dump the thing in. Does this bucket have a specific name? It probably doesn't. But I think the entire build turned out super great. It's kind of like partially fenced in, I guess, and there's just leaves everywhere, obviously, because that's kind of what I do. And I really did not finish placing all the leaves that I thought I had placed. Damn. Well, more leaves. More leaves always. That is much better. I have spammed even more leaves around the blacksmith hut, and also I'm down to 19 dark oak leaves, which means I have to go get more at some point, which is a scary thought. But I don't have to deal with that now, because I think this is the last thing we're going to do in today's episode, so I'm going to end it here. So yeah, like if you liked, subscribe if you like it. Have a great day, and as always, bye-bye.